So guys and girl fans on YouTube, today I have an Ubers battle against MapCrimsonCobra, and I just narrated it 2 seconds ago, but I hadn't had my microphone on, so here we go again. Ubers is one of my favourite tiers. It's great fun in 5th gen, lots of new pokes and new abilities and whatnot. And yeah, so let's get this underway. My opponent today is MapCrimsonCobra. He's a pretty big guy on YouTube. It's a really good channel. Yeah, check him out, leave his link in the description. So I leave my Dr. Horrible on my theme team, my Dr. Horrible sing-along vlog theme team. If you haven't watched that, then you should go watch it, it's great. So this is my banded Groudon. Tosses an Earthquake in his face, and does heaps of damage to his ghost Arceus. Going to my Bad Horse, my special wall here. He goes for the Fire Blast, not really sure why. Don't think, maybe he was predicting, I don't know what's coming. But regardless, that's what he went for. I predicted an extreme speed or something like that, so I went to my Giratina just to be immune to it. And he just goes out to his Dialga to take the Shadow Ball. I think he thought I was going to Shadow Sneak, because lots of people run Shadow Sneak on Giratina, but I'm cool and badass like that, so I wasn't running it. So yeah, his Dialga takes that like a boss, even with a special defense drop. I'm not going to stay in, because that would just be stupid, because he's going to just live it easily. So I go into Jon Snow, my Ho-Oh here. He spends the entire battle making my Ho-Oh scarfed because he wasn't paying attention. So it really cost him in the end because, you know, I was just running a max HP bulky Ho-Oh with a max attack animate nature just to take some hits and deal out some pretty aggressive ones as well. So yeah, he doesn't want to stay in to take a Sacred Fire, and I don't want to do a Sacred Fire because I know that he's going to go into Kyogre, so I just go for the Brave Bird everything, because one of the things you have to know about Ubers is always try and get damage on Kyogre, because if you don't get damage on Kyogre, it's going to Water Spout you, and you're going to get fucked in the face, because Water Spout from a Scarf Kyogre rapes people. It's probably like one of the most common leads in Ubers is Scarf Kyogre, because if you outspeed them, you hit them with a Water Spout, and it doesn't resist it. Like, if it's not a really bulky Palkia, then you're kind of screwed, because it's going to do heaps of damage to you. So, yeah. He switches out to Zekrom, I switch out to my Lugia. I have multi-scale, but he has Terra Volt. I don't know what Terra Volt did at this point, so I'm like, oh, well, must switch out, because if that did that much to a multi-scale, then I'm going to get absolutely face-palmed in the next attack. So, I got my balls, which is my Jump Luff, which is just dead fodder here. He doesn't understand this movie. He's like, why would he switch out to Jump Luff in this video? And I'm like, yeah, because I thought that my Lugia would die to an outrage, so I'm just death foddering it off. So that's that. Bye bye blue balls, sad face, Jump Luff is dead. Jump Luff's kinda cool, it gets Chlorophyll and it gets really fast, it gets Sleep Powder and other random jazz. Doesn't get anything that boosts Sleep Powder's accuracy, so it misses all the fucking time, but you know, that's just how it goes. He goes out to his Ferrothorn to take an Earthquake from my Groudon, and it does not take it. There is nothing quite like destroying a Ferrothorn with an Earthquake, and that is exactly what happens in this game. It's like, oh my god, my Ferrothorn will never live again. So yes, dead after 2 Earthquakes from my Groudon, and I was kind of surprised it did that much, because it didn't do that much to Arceus. So he must be running a fairly bulky Arceus set, because I know Arceus has a really high base stats, but this is banded, so it's like, whatever, excuse me there. I just go back into Bad Horse to take whatever he's going to give me on his Arceus. He goes for the Judgment, and he thinks he can carry me here because it takes me to the yellow, but it only does about 260, and I live with 280 out to leftovers, so I figure that I can take another one and just kill him off with the Shadow Ball. I wasn't really sure about sacrificing my Giratina at this point, because Giratina is kind of my main kind of mixedy wally thingy, so yeah, and also it has bat wings and is cool in general. But yeah, I just kill him off with a Shadow Ball. I'm just going to fodder it out now, because it has 73 HP, and Giratina doesn't really have reliable recovery. It has Pain Split, but it's not really going to outspeed anything if you're running a wall. And it has Rest, but I really don't like the rest mechanics in 5th gen, because even with Sleep Talk, you know, you have to have a Heal Bell, and nothing in Ubers can run Heal Bell that's particularly good. Well, I think Lugia might be able to run it, but you can't really afford the 4th move, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Giratina goes down. At this point I figure out, wait a minute, Terra Volt is Mold Breaker. That means that he can just do the same amount of damage to me with multi-scale as normal. So yeah, go back into Lugia. I figure I can just sponge his outrages till he gets confused and then just keep going for Roost. And I go for an Ice Beam here, knowing that he probably doesn't want to switch in and stay in the next turn to try and outrage me again through confusion. So yeah, just get some damage on it, because it's always good to get damage on things that are really fast, because then you can kill them off with one hit later maybe. So he goes into an Espeon here, and I was like, what the fuck, Espeon and Ubers? What is this madness? So wasn't really sure about this, but apparently it's a absolute biatch, and it hits me with an ice. Well, I hit it with an ice +1 Ice Beam, and it does jack shit. I'm like, whoa, that is crazy bulky. So yeah, note to self, Espeon is bulky in special defense. So yeah, he hits me with a Toxic, which good play, because Lugia really want to get Toxic because it is a super wall. And yeah, I just hit it with an Ice Beam. It does basically nothing. He goes for a Light Screen here, which is good for him, because it means that I basically can't touch his pokes for 8 turns. And I'm just going to switch out here, knowing that I really can't do anything to it. Like, I couldn't do anything to it before a Light Screen, and I definitely can't do anything to it after a Light Screen. So definitely going to switch out. I go to Dr. Horrible here, knowing that it's especially bulky, so it probably can't take something like an Earthquake, even with a Reflect Up. And he talks about him in his video that it does have some physical defensive investment, and it gets base bitch slapped by a Earthquake here, which is great, because now his Espeon is dead, and that Wish is basically useless. So he goes back into Koga here, going for the rest, thinking I'd switch out, wanting to save my Groudon to change the weather back to Sun for my Ho-Oh, but I really don't care about the weather. I just kind of put the Groudon because it's quite bulky, and it doesn't often come banded, so you know, it's kind of a surprise. And also, if someone does bring a Koga for a counter team, then I can, you know, put the Sun up, and it works well with my Jump Plus, you know, so that's why I bring it. It's good sleep fodder, really, because someone lives with Darkrai, you can just go to Groudon, get slept, and still get the Sun up, so it works for me. So I'll just go to the Lugia here, because I know that I can sponge whatever he's got, especially after seeing the rest, knowing that he's a really bulky set. Yeah, so I'm just going to try and slow out his screens here, because screens pretty much prevent you from doing anything, because if you don't know, screens are great. And I'm just going to go for the Psychics here, just trying to whittle him down a bit, waiting for the screens to wear out. I kind of want his Koga to die. Like, I don't want it to die, I want it to live, but I want my Lugia to die while it's in a low HP, so that I can set up a Carmine with Mewtwo if he wants to save his Koga. And even if he doesn't want to save it, then I can set up a Carmine, live whatever he goes for, and then kill him off with a Psy Strike. Unfortunately for me, that doesn't happen, because if it did happen, then I would have lost, because of Zekrom, which is Scarfed, and I still didn't realise it was Scarfed. I thought it was maybe anything else, honestly. So, yeah. If that had happened, I would have been outspeed by his Zekrom, taking some damage from his Koga, and died and lost the game. So, as it turns out, you never get what you want, because they'll end up with you losing. So, yeah. My Lugia dies off here to Poison after he switches out to his Time Pigger. I don't really get the name, but I'm sure someone will tell me it's funny. But yeah, seems pretty cool. And I just hit him with a Psychic. Doesn't really do anything because Dialga is a Psychic and is fairly bulky itself. And my Lugia is just going to die of toxic damage. So he's left with his Kyogre, his Dialga, and his Zekrom, and I'm left off with my Ho-Oh and my Mewtwo. But he still thinks my Ho-Oh is Scarfed at this point. So I just go for the Earthquake. He didn't expect me to have it because no one runs the Earthquake anymore apparently, because too many Levitators and Ubers. But I'm unique Snowflake like that, so yeah, hit him with an Earthquake, live with more than half HP, gonna kill him off next turn, get some leftovers, and be pretty high in HP altogether. I did consider roosting here, just to get all my HP back, but then I didn't think it would really make a difference, because I thought a Scald in the rain would probably do heaps of damage to me. Because, who knows. But he doesn't actually go for Scald, he goes for a Thunder Wave, thinking I'm Scarfed, because, yeah, that's why he goes to Thunder Wave. I don't think a Scald would have killed, so I don't really think it makes any difference at all. The only difference it could have made is if I got Parahax on that turn, and then the turn after and he got 2 Scalds off, then I would have lost. But I don't, so yeah, I just kill off this Kyogre. He's left with his Zekrom. I thought I might be able to take a Outrage here. I thought he might go for the Fusion Bolt or Bolt Strike or whatever it is Zekrom goes for, because it's a stab, and I thought more power than Outrage, but apparently it's not, so he just goes for Outrage. I go back into my Mewtwo thinking I've lost this game because I think he must be able to kill me off with an outrage. And he thought I'd lost as well because he was like, oh, Mewtwo can't take an outrage from a Zekrom, but apparently it can. So he thought it was bulky, but I kept on smoking after the game, and 80% is about the max it'll do to a Mewtwo. So great game, Crimson Cobra. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give it a like if you want me to post some more Ubers battles. Yeah, enjoy. 17 subscribers just hit today. Loving it. See you guys next time.